Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Azizatu Iyalina with student number 007 and I'm from TBI 5A class. And now I will present my final task or my happy was about mini research with the title The Implementation of Self-Direct Learning Strategy to Improve Student Speaking Ability. Problem and research gap. English is considered a foreign language in Indonesia. It is inherently limited as an everyday communication medium, according to Broughton 2003. Therefore, many of students feel shy, afraid, and anxious about their lack of ability in speaking English as a foreign language. This constantly has a negative impact on students to practice their speaking skills. The negative impact of student feelings about their ability in speaking English is one of the obstacles to practicing their speaking skills in a class. They are embarrassed by how much the other students or their other friends are focusing on them. In addition to the fear and anxiety of students in practicing their speaking ability, other obstacles can also be caused by some students try to speak in their mother tongue in speaking class because that comes naturally to them. Tuan and Mai, 2015. According to Harmer, 1991, there are a few explanations for why students use their hometown in speaking classes. The first reason is that students will attempt to use their language when a teacher asks them to speak on a subject about which they are unfamiliar. The second reason is that using one's mother tongue comes quite naturally to students. Participants decide for this research to see the implementation of SDL or self-directed learning in improving student English speaking ability or skills is in one of the junior high school in Salatiga. The participants were students of class 9 consisting of 28 students. The subject age range between 14 and 15 years old. Problem statement. This research have two problem statements. The first one is what extent the use of self-direct learning strategy can improve the student speaking ability. And the second, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the implementation of self-direct learning strategy to improve student speaking ability? Underlying theories accompanied by student encounter some obstacles, thus the teacher must find the best strategy to encourage students to bravely develop their speaking abilities. One of the strategies suggested for use is the self-direct learning strategy. The study of self-direction has been explored primarily from two perspectives. The first is process, and the second is personal attribute, according to Mucker and Spear, 1982, and Garrison, 1997. In self-directed learning strategy, students are required to conduct independent study outside of the classroom in order to expand their understanding and fully participate in their own learning. SDL is described as a learning process in which students are in charge of their own learning activities, according to Humaira and Huriyah 2017. In terms of speaking English, students can apply this learning strategy because with this strategy model, students are able to improve their speaking skills by practicing speaking English directly and independently. This is in line with Kosar and Bedir 2014, which states that students' speaking abilities truly need to be developed if they want to be able to communicate clearly in English. To improve student speaking ability, um, teacher can provide this SPL strategy outside the classroom. So the SDL learning is effective for students. This is done to encourage and prepare students for their own learning process. Moradi 2017. Furthermore, by using self-directed learning strategy, students are more motivated and self-assured to learn English on their own outside of the classroom, especially to improving their English speaking skills, according to Horia and Humaira 2017. The object of the research that is of interest to many researchers is the communicative ability of students in English. This is based on the main objective of learning. Students have the ability to communicate with others in English orally. Therefore, many researchers have conducted research by emphasizing research variables on English speaking ability to improve communication skills. This view also supported by Kosar and Medir 2014, which said that student speaking skills really need to be improved so that students are able to communicate to directly in English. Teachers also need to optimize efforts in managing learning strategies in the classroom so that students can express their ideas and opinions by speaking English. Ramzu and Ardukani 2011. Research method. Research method. This study used a qualitative research methodology to know the implementation of the students' self-directed learning to improve their speaking ability. This qualitative approach is usually used in the action research (R) method, which is included in this study. According to Chemis et al. 2014, classroom action research typically involves the use of qualitative, interpretive modes of inquiry and data collection by teacher, often with help from academic partners, with a view to teacher making judgment about how to improve their practices. And the aim of investigating the study was to solve the problem happen in the classroom that is faced by the student. It is in line with Lati of 2008, who argued that classroom action research is the research design that is constructed for improving the quality of learning in the classroom. And to collect the data, the researcher used some instruments such as observation checklists, field notes, performance tasks, questionnaire, and interview. Okay, the task was in form of performance tasks in which the students were asked to perform the conversation in a group. The students in a group choose the topic by themselves. And in addition, some students also are selected to be interviewed. In this case, the researcher only chose three students to be interviewed. And for the speaking assessment, the researcher conducted to the subject 3 times. The first is pre-test, the second is post-test in cycle 1, and the last is post-test in cycle 2. The speaking assessment sheet uses content 5 aspects of speaking skills. They are comprehension, vocabulary, grammar, fluency, and pronouns. Okay, that's all my presentation. Uh, Thank you for your kind attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.